Module 4, security. So in this module, we're going to discuss security features and defense in-depth, dynamic denial of service protection, NSG, security group, and firewalls, and mga key vault and dedicated hosts. I think this is a long topic. So security tools and features, describe the features and functionality of each service in Azure. So first of all, security center. So Azure Security Center is a monitoring service pertaining to security that provides threat protection across both Azure on-prem data centers and cloud. No, so it can monitor pati yung servers inside your data centers, not only in the cloud. Okay, so Security Center provides security recommendations. As you can see from here, meron tong recommendation. Ayan, no. Now, recommendation, it has total of 5, high severity, apat. So meaning siguro may suggestion to na siguro for your 4 servers is not patched to the latest, no? Kung meron kayong VMware servers, sasabihin dito you have to patch the ESX to the latest KB article released by VMware. Ganun yung recommendation yan. So kiklik mo yan, makikita mo yung patch, then that patch should be installed sa ESX host. Okay? Tapos meron kang low severity, no? Could be a minor hotfix lang to na you need to disable yung HTTP. No? HTTP kasi unsecured connection. So yung recommendation niya. Patayin mo HTTP, use HTTPS. So very intelligent, no? Hindi lang siya may recommendation, it also detect and block malware. If you can see dito, hindi sinabi dito, hindi ko makita. And source, well, data sources, or else 1% of your secure score, PCI. Okay, you can detect and block. So block right away yung incoming packet which has a match pattern do sa malware database ng Azure. No? You can also analyze and identify potential attacks. Yun nga, meron siyang passive scanning na basta dumaan sa kanyang perimeter, it will read the malware, no? Signature. Then meron siyang just-in-time access control for ports. Let's say for example, gusto mo mag file transfer sa server, di ba? You know? And remote to from your desktop papuntang cloud, di ba? Work from home ka eh. No? Pwede ba mag-copy and paste? Pwede yan, pero it's not secure. So ang gagawin doon, mag-open siya ng WinSCP ports, siguro port 22, so you can establish and transfer files securely. And then later on, di-disable mo yun. So ginagawa namin sa VMware platform namin, pinapatay namin SSH kasi unsecure yun eh, di ba? Kahit sabihin niya secure shell, sir, secure shell. Hindi rin secure yun. So ino-off namin sa aming vCenter. Papatayin namin yun. Tapos kung may gusto kaming upload, let's say ESX patch, no? As of February 14, may nirelease sila 2022. Doon lang namin i-on SSH. Tapos upload namin updated patches. Then papatayin uli namin. So that's one example of just-in-time access. Okay? So, paano ginagawa yan? So, punta tayo sa ating portal. Type nyo lang security center. Ayun, kita mo yan, security. So, you will be given a dashboard. No? Bibigyan ka ng dashboard. No, yan, security. So, if you want, hindi yan. Azure Security Center. So, punta sa all services. You can either go sa security, no? Napakadami, malilito ka. Saan ba dito? Or, type mo yung Azure Security Center. Ayun. Hindi yan. Ayun, security. The logo is like, yung ganun nga. No? Security Center, yun. Ayun pala yung pinuntahan ko kanina. Then you will see a dashboard. You need to configure this one. Wala pa tong dashboard eh. Okay, so may bayad. Pay as you go. Enable blah 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 blah. Yan, pag in-enable all mo yan, it will do a scan, but that will cost a lot. No? Basta as long as you understand ano ba yung security center. Provide security recommendation, detect block malware, okay? Just-in-time access, he will find out, no? May sino nag-open, and it'll give you a recommendation to close. Okay. Next is the SOAR. SOAR is the security info management and security automated response. So if you studied ethical hacking or cybersecurity, this is a very common word, SIEM, info management and security. No? Solution which provides security analytics and threat intelligence across. Sa amin, dami namin ginagamit. I'm using Insight VM and Nexpose. No? Nexpose will give you a recommendation. Now, it will scan the whole infrastructure, whether Cisco has a firewall, whether SQL database, whether Windows 10. Sasabihin niya, Windows 10, you're using a very old patch. Tapos, bibigyan ka ng link, please download this link, install to your 2000 Windows 10 VDI. Ang dami nun. So, pag natim ka sa Windows 10, maraming problema yon. Kasi lahat ng virtual machine, papatch mo yun eh. Papatch mo yun eh. That's a problem if you're managing virtual machine eh. So ito naman, ito yung equivalent ng Insight VM and Nexpose. No? If you want more tools, we discuss in ethical hacking. Pero sabihin ko, Sentinel is a solution which provides security analytics. So it will collect data access points. No? It will detect for malware signature and lagi updated ng malware database nila. And then it will do investigation. Titingnan niya, wait, sandali, wait, we have released February 14 patch. How come itong VMware ESX host mo is October 12, 2021 patch? Ganon sasabihin sa'yo. No? Very intelligent to. Then you need to respond. How will you respond? Well, you have to install one by one. No? Pupunta ka sa VMware, kiklik mo yung update, tapos create parang playbook, and then click remediate. No? Once you click remediate, it will apply the patch one by one, to the host, and then reboot the host automatically. Ganun, no? So it's a complete cycle. It will collect, it will detect, it will do further investigation, it will do a recommendation, then it can respond as well. Very complete tong Sentinel na to. Napakaganda, no? So hindi mo na kailangan bumili ng Insight VM. Sino gumagamit dito ng Insight VM? Hello? Do I have an audio? Oh, Nexpose. Ito ginagamit. This is a very interesting tool, Nexpose. Ito. So I'll show you this one. Ayan ang Nexpose by Rapid7. Sila din gumamit ng hacking tool. Kung alam niyo to. Nakita niyo ba to? It can make recommendation. Ito, it detected 3 million vulnerabilities. Far out. So highly exposed yung infrastructure nyo. Pag na-scan ito yung inyong organization, ako mag-resign ka na. Bakit may 3 million vulnerabilities? Diba? Highly exposed ang network niyo. Siguro yung video hindi gumagamit ng Nexpose, no? Kaya ang daming surprises sa kanila. Okay? So next one is the Insight VM naman. Ganun pa rin. Parang Sentinel. Insight VM is a reporting tool. No, yan. Kinlik mo yan. It will give you an insight of the whole IT infrastructure. Okay? Created by Rapid7 din. Okay. Yan, dashboard. So ito, makikita mo dito. You have 1,300 asset with critical vulnerabilities. Naka, highly exposed. The moment you see this graph na tumataas, the more vulnerable your infrastructure. Napakadelikado. It's either mag-close ka na, no? Shutdown mo yung mga servers mo, huwag kang mag-run. Kasi you are giving opportunities for attacker. Okay? Paano mag-attack? Sa ethical hacking, diniscuss ni Richard, paano i-attack yan. No? Okay, so yan ang Azure Sentinel. Hindi, yung mga example. Kung gusto na Sentinel, punta tayo sa Azure. Very complete din yan. Azure. Ayan, punta kayo dito, Sentinel. Ang daming tool nito. Kung wala kayong cybersecurity sa opisina ninyo, shutdown nyo na lahat ng BM nyo. Kasi you are opening to the world, no? So may inattack si Richard eh. No? Then later nag-close yung company na yun. Sabi nila, we don't know what we're doing. All password has been compromised. No? So delikado yan. Tandaan niyo, as a security engineer, you have responsibility to secure your network. Else, you can go to jail for 6 months or pay $500,000. No, sa Philippines ka na. Kaya okay mag-apply cybersecurity if you don't know what you're doing. Next is Azure Dedicated Host provides physical server. Ito naman yung physical, no? Yung bare metal that hosts one or more Azure VM is dedicated to single. So benefits ng dedicated host, isolated yung hardware nyo sa organization nyo. You have control over maintenance. No? Kung kailan nyo gusto yung maintenance, well, every month may maintenance, patrabaho to. Maghanap na kayo ng technicians. And you can align with Azure Hybrid Use Benefits. No? Next, secure network connectivity. Describe the concept and functionality of Defense in-depth (DID). What is Network Security Group (NSG), ano yung Firewall, and Distributed Denial of Service. So ito yung Defense in-depth, copied from the Department of Defense in America. No? So physical. So how do you secure your physical server? So ito yung approach. So we're gonna do a layer approach in securing computer system. We're going to provide multiple level protection on each layer. And we're going to protect against attack. Okay? So, dito, physical. How will you secure your physical server? Anybody? Sa tingin mo, Ian, James, or Jerome? Anybody? Paano mo secure yung physical server? Di ba?
Parang security, tawag dito. Yung biometric sa data center.
Oo, yun. Tama yun. No, that's correct. So kami sa data center namin, so we have this Fujitsu data center. Before you can go sa data center, you have to raise a ticket sa remedy, no? Or sa portal nila. So tatype mo name mo, kailan mo gusto ma-access, anong gagawin mo? So sabihin ko, I need to upgrade the ESX host, no? You can, tapos may discussion yan, approval pa eh. Ba't mo upgrade? You cannot upgrade using physical eh. You do it remotely. Di ba? Walang pumupunta sa data center. In short, very secure to eh. Granting na kailangan palitan yung motherboard. Okay? That's the only time you go to physical data center. So, you need to apply for data center access. Pagpasok mo doon, may security guard, tatanungin ano yung ticket number mo, tapos verify nila yan kung nandun yung name mo, hingin yung identity mo, first name, plus government issued ID. Once na binigyan ka, bibigyan ng data access, tapos tatap mo yun yung HID card doon sa access na yun. Pag nasa loob ng data center, meron pa yung cage. Okay? Cage is for organization. So tatawag yan sa gwardiya. Pare, papasukin ba natin to? Yeah. Tapos bubuksan nila, pipindutin nila yan. So nasa loob ka ng cage. Pagpasok mo ng cage, lock pa rin yun. Kasi yung rack server nasa loob ng rack, di ba? So may susi pa yon. So that's how you secure physical. May susi pa. Yung susi na yon, nasa vault. Bago mo buksan ng vault, may PIN number. Okay? Hindi mo bubuksan yun unless you know the PIN number. So highly secure. Okay, di ba? Yun ang defense in-depth. Lalim. Isa pa. How do you protect naman yung identity and access? Siyempre, traditionally, username, password. Kailangan may password to login sa Active Directory. Ngayon, hindi na. Meron ng 2FA.
2FA.
No? Oo. So, it will text you the PIN number. Text ng PIN number. Sa amin, mas matindi. Meron pang authenticator. Authenticator.
Physical authenticator, pero pa yung sa cellphone.
Oo. Noong unang panahon, nag-work ako sa Accenture, no? Yung authenticator namin, RSA. Makikita niyo yung...
Keystone ba yun? Keystone? Parang
RSA. Parang ganun.
RSA.
So makikita mo may mga kwintas kami na kulay itim. Hindi yung networking, yung power.
Yung
binibenta. Hindi yan. So yung kwintas na yun, nandun yung 6-digit PIN number. Every 60 seconds, nagre-reset yun. RSA yon. Bago ka makapasok sa mainframe, you have to type your username, password plus RSA key. Okay? So that's how you secure. Next one's perimeter. So when you talk about perimeter, ito yung before hitting the network. Could be a DMZ, yung demilitarized zone, or yung facing internet. No? Facing internet. Ito yung public IP na mahihit nyo. Let's say, tinype nyo Netflix. Public IP lang yon. Okay? Then yung IP na yon is connected to a cluster network. So papasok na yung network. So ito na yung network. No? So sa networking, daming security measures. So you have to do subnetting. If you belong to this subnet, you don't have access to other subnet. Di ba? Kung naka 192.168 ka, hindi ka maka-access sa 10.10.10. Di ba? Okay, So meron din computer security, no? Ito naman yung mga services I mentioned kanina, yung mga virtual machines, how do you access virtual machines? You can access only using port 3389. Okay? Tapos how do you open up application? Napakadami, no? So, before you can run apps, kailangan mag-VPN ka muna sa office, di ba? Tapos username, password, tapos 2FA ulit. Now, how do you access data? Normally, you don't have access to data kasi sa three-tier environment, ang SQL can be accessed by application only. So, hanggang application lang kayo. Yung application ang huhugot ng data. Once authenticated kayo, let's say, name mo. So, makikita yung profile nyo, di ba? Let's say, saan kayo nakatira, anong age nyo, anong birthday nyo. Hanggang dun lang. But you won't be able to see others' information. Okay, so yun ang defense in depth. Na? Any question about DID? Next is the shared security. So migrating from customer controlled on-prem to public or cloud-based data centers. Shift the responsibility for security. So security becomes a shared concern between cloud providers and customer. So ito yung gray area na tinatawag. So ano ba talaga responsibility ko? Diba? Ano ba responsibility ng Azure? So if you can see, there's a Microsoft responsibility nito yung application if you avail software as a service such as Office 365. They will promise to you na up and running ang Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Teams, 24/7, 99.9 service level agreement. Okay, ganun. So yun yung promise nila. Ang customer responsibility naman is pag on-prem, sa'yo lahat ng sakit ng ulo. Nakita mo? Nakita mo? From networking, operating system upgrade, physical host damage, physical network, renting of data center, no, you have to pay for electricity. Ang dami, pati governments. No? So mas maganda, host mo na lang sa Azure. Okay? Next is NSG. Network Security Group, filter network traffic to and from, no? From source to destination. So sa NSG, you set inbound ports, outbound rules are predefined. No? So you can add multiple rules as needed within subscription. Azure applies default baseline. So merong open baseline sila. And you can also override that baselines. Okay? So anong NSG? So meron akong demo dito. NSG. So a very interesting topic to. So remember kanina, meron tayong dalawang VM. So meron akong VM na pinatay ko ba yan? Pinatay ko ba? Running eh. Running. Okay, my PC1 is running. Ito stop. So, connect ako sa PC1. So, ito yung PC1 ko. Yan, ang bilis na. Yan, connected agad ako. So, I'll show you. PC1 talaga to by identifying the private IP, 10.0.0.4. Malinaw ha? 10.0.0.4. So, yun 10.0.0.4. Kita nyo ba? So, yan, yan, 10.0.0.4. Okay? So, as of now, I can connect. Okay? Anong public IP? Yan. 20.211. So, I'm gonna open a command prompt. Papakita ko sa inyo. Piping ko siya. Ping public IP. Laging public IP, ha? Oh, bakit hindi pingable? Anybody? Bakit hindi pingable tong virtual machine ko? Anybody? Anybody? You can guess. Piniping ko tong machine ko na up and running, pero hindi pingable. Bakit? Kasi yung ICMP port is not open. Yan, okay? So how do you open the ICMP port? Dito ka na papasok, networking. Okay? So networking, hanapin mo yung network security group, inbound port rule. Nakita nyo ICMP? Wala, di ba? Wala. So you need to allow, add inbound port rule. So you have to define saan galing, source, anong port, ICMP port, no? Destination dito sa PC na to. So anong port yun? So you have to define the protocol. No? Pag any, ibig sabihin lahat open, ICMP, allow ang ping. Okay? So allow ko yung ping, add ko sa network security group. As you can see, inbound port, in-add ko na, ayun, created security. So refresh. So I just create, patatapos lang. So hit refresh. Okay. Nakita ninyo, ICMP is added. Okay, ICMP is added. Nakita niya? So I'm allowing ping to this machine. Ngayon, bakit hindi, request timeout pa rin? Kasi nga may firewall ako, host firewall. So di-disable ko yung host firewall. Firewall, okay? Ayun, naka-disable na pala, na-ping na niya. Okay? Pingable na. So that's NSG, Network Security Group. So I allow the firewall, I allow ICMP port from any, na-ping ko na siya. Okay? Ganun lang. So pingable na to. May papatingin ko sa ICMP. So how do you delete the rule? So this is called rule. Delete the rule. Di-delete ko yan. Okay? Deleting the rule. Tapos wait for security. Wait for security. So, deleting pa rin. Kaya pingable pa rin eh. Hindi pa na-delete. Okay, deleted successfully. F5. Re-refresh ko. I wanna show you there's no ICMP. Oh, wala na ha. Wala na ICMP. Okay? Then how come pingable? May delay siya. Okay, magantay lang tayo ng few minutes. Okay, magda-drop packets na yan. So remember, he's committing the rule sa VM. Ayun, request timeout. Okay, so that's network security group. Okay, okay. So you can do pretty much everything like allowing SS. What port do you want to allow? Let's say SSH. You can allow SSH. Kung meron kayong web server, allow web server. HTTPS. You can allow database. Ayan, HTTPS. Ayan, allow HTTPS. Allow HTTP only. Allow SQL. Okay. So granular. No, you can allow. So that's one sort of security measure you can do sa Azure. Okay. Any question about network security group? So in my demo, I was able to set inbound port. No. Hindi ako nag-set ng outbound port kasi by default open na yan eh. So that's the problem eh. Most attacker, they use outbound connection. Sino matindi ng ethical hacking? Ngayon question, bakit na-hack mga system? Diba? Kasi nga, by default, open lahat ng outbound. Tingnan mo ha, ito yung inbound. Check the outbound. Oh, open. From any port, any protocol, to your VNet. In short, lahat ng outbound, any. Okay? So meaning, if the originating attack is from the VM itself, he can contact anyone outside this. No? So yun yung ginamit na phishing attack sa video. No? Tawag doon reverse TCP connection. Kasi may na-launch dito, siguro may kinlick yun. May kinlick yun na isa. And then na-launch yung PowerShell command. Yung PowerShell contains Microsoft code, which is not a malware. Kasi nga, Microsoft eh. Diba? PowerShell siya, native language niya eh. Walang malware na makaka-detect na virus yun, na malware. Kasi in the first place, it's a programming language created by Microsoft. No? So, na-create ng TCP connection. So, anything tapos nag-launch ng keylogger. So, anything you type dito, no, whether BDO username, tinype mo BDO username mo, di ba? Tapos nilagay mo password, tapos na nag-text sa cellphone, may PIN number, tinype mo yung PIN number dito, kita ka. So that will be sent to attacker. So yung attacker nag-aantay lang siya. No? So within 60 seconds, type niya yung BDO username, password, and PIN number, di makakalagin siya sa BDO account mo. Diba? Tapos he can transfer to any account eh. Any account with a maximum amount of 50,000 pesos. Diba? So ito yung problem doon. No? Kasi naka-open yan lahat. No? Ayan, no? Any. So that's a problem. So it's possible to attack. Okay? Anyone can do this. No? So if you want to learn that, how to avoid it sa ethical hacking namin. Next one is firewall. Firewall is totally different from network security group. Pero parang pareho lang yun. No? So firewall is a stateful managed firewall as a service. So may extra charge dyan that grants deny access. No? Based on originating IP, dito you can define the IP address saan galing. Well, same din with NSG, pareho lang. Eh, no? Dito you can define inbound. No? Pareho lang ng NSG, di ba? You can define inbound. And unrestricted cloud scalability, Azure, you can also do monitoring logs. Ang problem sa NSG, this is only layer 3 and layer 4. No? If you want to learn, ano ba yung layer 3 and layer 4? Layer 4 is a TCP, UDP. No? Layer 3 is a IP address. So yun lang kaya niya filter. Ang firewall, layer 3 to layer 7. Layer 7 is a URL. Let's say gusto mo i-block yung mga websites such as facebook.com. Layer 7 yon. Dito yan. No, dito yan. Layer 4, yung mga TCP connection. Dito din yan. Dito din yan. So, yan ang biggest advantage ng firewall. Okay? Meron yung mga tinatawag na WAF, application firewall. So, this is behind, let's say ito yung public, ito yung WAF, ito yung application mo. So, it's filtering the application access. Na? More secure. Next is Azure Distributed Denial of Service, or DDoS. So DDoS attacks overwhelm and exhaust network resources. So ano ginagawa ng DDoS? It overwhelm. Yun nga, by sending a huge amount of packets. Instead of 32 bytes, nagsisend yan ng thousands of bytes. No? Try to imagine, ito yung attacker. Sending 64,000, 64,000, 64,000, let's say 164,000, you're sending 600 megabytes of data. So papasok dito yan. Kasi legit yan. Legit na ping. Tapos, pagpasok dito, wala ka nito. Busy na to. Overwhelmed lang siya. Exhausted na. No. Pag-type mo ng facebook.com, uy, inaccessible. Bakit kaya? Exhausted na kasi. Na-overwhelmed na sa ping ng attacker. Okay? So yun din na yung DOS attack. So maraming klaseng DOS attack. Kaya na yung bazooka, no? If you want to learn DOS attacks, ethical hacking, dinidiscuss din yan. So dito, ang function ng distributed denial of service is it will sanitize unwanted network traffic. So gagawin nito, bablock niya yung mga ping. Pag na-detect niya, this ping is larger than 32 bytes, drop packets. The-drop niya yung ping. Okay? In the first place, di-disable niya. No? Dapat hindi nga napiping. So another feature is basic service tier is auto-enable in Azure. So once na meron kang VM dito and you avail this service, no? So VM should be behind the Azure DDoS. No? And pati yung VNet mo, it will protect VNet from certain attacks then. Okay? So saan yung VNet? Dito naman sa loob ng VM. Okay. Next is defense in-depth reviewed. Ayan, na-discuss ko na to, no? Sa review natin. You need to combine network security solution. So meron ka ng NSG, which is a port filtering, network filtering tool, plus Azure Firewall, which is a layer 7 filtering. No? Kasi ito hindi layer 7, yun ang kulang niya. No? And this one is built in sa VM. Ito naman external to. Okay? Next is perimeter layer. Protects your network boundaries with DDoS. So bakit kailangan perimeter? Kasi dito nilalagay yung DDoS. Public facing, private facing. Ayan. Public facing, so nandun yung DDoS, private facing. Okay? Para hindi ma-attack yung inside VMs. Then meron naman networking layer. So you need to apply dito yung port filtering such as yung dinemonstrate ko kanina. Disable the ICMP, di ba? Okay. So walk through secure network. Yan, I was able to demonstrate to you. So kanina meron akong virtual machine, tama? And then pumunta ako sa network security group. Then I created an inbound port such as ICMP. Then I was able to ping. Okay. Okay, module 4 review. Azure Security Center, Resource Hygiene, Key Vault Central Dedicated Host. Any question? Any question about module 4 before we go to our lunch? Sakto, alas 12. Wala nang question? Wala nang question? Okay, so lunch